Every time I give this company a chance to improve, it goes downhill. I try to give it a chance every time. I remember the days in 2010 and above, not until now, where you can go on a Monday night, 3 hours, and have a great time. I remember in 2010, when it was 2 hours, you could go on Raw, have a good time, and enjoy yourself. You didn't have to worry about who's next. You didn't have to be like, oh, I don't like this guy fighting for champs, and we just watched wrestling. We watched WWE. We've done everything. As WWE fans, if you still are, we miss that days of just going on to wrestling, having good storylines, and enjoying yourself. Well, today I'm going to be talking about my experiences watching Raw and SmackDown, telling you what's the better show, what's the worst about each show, and why I stopped watching WWE daily. Let's get to it. Oh, forgot to do my intro. I'm so frustrated. What is up, guys? It's your boy Brian, and I'm finally back. I'm sorry for the long wait on this channel. I've been wanting to do this WWE experience video for a while. I hold back on it because I was not done evaluating WWE, but now I'm finally back. I'm done evaluating. It's time to get to straight facts. Talk about the bad, talk about some good, but needs work. By the way, these are just my general thoughts. If you don't like my general thoughts, well, it's fine. It's your opinion. If you like WWE, fine. I'm cool with it. If you like AEW, fine. I'm cool with it. If you like New Japan, MLW, it's all fine. But I hate when people discredit people for being a fan of AEW. I just hate those people. Why can't we not just go back and just watch wrestling? Like what you like. Luckily, the fan base that I'm in is all about that. You like what you like. Anywho, back to the task at hand. Should I start with the bad or should I start with the good? I think we should start with the good because I have a lot to say about the bad. Let's start with the people that are going to be excluded from this video of me roasting them and having a bad time. Those names are Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, The Fiend. That's about it. Everyone else is getting murdered. Don't care who you are. Don't care what you are. You're going to get murdered and roasted and talked about by me. Okay. So those are the people that are going to be excluded. So we'll start with the good. The good about WWE is the reformation of Roman Reigns. They rebuilt this character so well. I'm so happy for Roman. Dude, he's been such a bad guy. And I don't mean in a good way. For a while. I really liked Roman Reigns. But the way they book him was just not the way I think of Roman Reigns. I think of an epic badass with cool muscles. He can destroy, he can spear you, he can Superman punch you. I don't think of this lovable guy that gets beat up and you're supposed to love him. No. I think of an ultimate badass with no vest and he destroys people. And what are we getting right now? A man with no vest, no more shield attire, just the pants, big physique, a great manager, a great brother, and there you go. Perfect. Now he is a lovable character. I see all over Twitter. everybody is loving Roman Reigns. If there's one thing that I still kind of watch SmackDown, and I'm probably gonna watch tonight. Well, two reasons. One, they're going to Tropicana Field. I want to see if the Thunderdome looks any different. And two, Roman's gonna be on. Roman and Kevin Owens are gonna have one more confrontation. So yeah. But other than that, I wouldn't really be watching SmackDown, to be honest. Unless Bianca Belair's on. That's like my only positive. Anyway. So, yeah. I'll say it now. That is the one positive of WWE. Is Roman. Now on the Raw side. There's not a lot of positives, but I grit and grinded to get some positives out. I would say Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton have been the two stars of Monday Night Raw. Before The Fiend got there. Quick PSA. That was the star. Drew McIntyre has been a star since he's taken the helm of Raw. He's been that ultra babyface that's done really well. And even though Manny doesn't like him now, I still like Drew McIntyre. If Drew McIntyre goes back to the mid-card in the near future, I wouldn't mind, because Drew McIntyre has proven he is a world champion as your WWE champion. His run was so enjoyable, I actually was able to watch Raw for a couple weeks. Because he was that fun to watch. And some of the matches he had that I thought I would never thought would be good, he surprised me. Drew and Randy was awesome. Fucking Drew and Bobby Lashley was great too. And I didn't even expect it. Like, when I heard Bobby Lashley getting a title match, I'm like, alright, we'll see what goes. Because I didn't like Bobby Lashley's character with Lana. Now I'm actually a lot more better of Bobby Lashley with MVP and the Hurt Business. I'm actually okay with that. You see where I'm coming from? Yeah, I think you know where I'm coming from. So, I say Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton have been the two bright spots of Monday Night Raw. Here's why. Randy Orton, a legend in this business. I thought it was going to be the decline of Randy Orton. I'm going to be honest. When I heard Randy Orton was coming from injury and he RKO'd Jericho before Jericho left the company, I thought it was over for Randy after the Brock Lesnar stuff. I'm like, there's no way Randy Orton's going to recover from this. But what did he do? He turned heel, he got a great feud, and he recovered. And while Randy Orton shouldn't be doing this many matches in 2020, obviously, some of the matches he's been with some of the top stars have been great. Hell, I'll even give credit where credit's due. Even though I think the Edge match is a little overrated, I will say he impressed me in that match. I didn't think he can go an hour with Edge. He did. I give him credit. Even though Edge got injured, he put his working boots on. Both men put the working boots on. But I thought it was a little overrated with the finishers. They did a little too much. If they would have lowered it down and do like special finisher spots in between, definitely. But I just couldn't get behind it. But that's only me. A lot of people said I was a little critical of them, and I did. I rewatched it again. I was a little critical of them, but it wasn't like a 1 or 2. No, it was more of like a 7. But a lot of people were calling it a 9 or 10. I don't actually do that because it was a little overrated for me. It got rated way too high. Because I really like Randy Orton. I love Edge. But that match is a little overrated. Just saying. Excuse me. Excuse me. I don't know, I've been getting really sneezed lately. Anyway. But yeah, Randy Orton has been the one bright spot of Monday Night Raw. He's been a devious heel. Now he's in a really intriguing feud with The Fiend. Even though I don't know how the match is going to really go, the feud stuff has been very intriguing. Some of Alexa Bliss's best work and The Fiend in a while. Ever since The Fiend beat John Cena, it's kind of helped him. But then he got into a feud with Braun. I was like, So, but some of the cinematic matches that The Fiend have been in is just incredible. So, yeah. And I think that's all I have for Raw positives and SmackDown positives. Another good positive, I guess, is, when when they do the matches themselves, they're actually a lot better than you think they are when on TV, on paper, on script. It just was a bad feud. Like, the Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin match at the Royal Rumble was actually very fun when it didn't really need to be, but it was. Because I thought that match was going to be kind of boring, but it actually was really fun. They had great spots with the Usos returning. It was just good. It was fun. And then, especially for Raw, when they had those fun matches, say, like, I'm trying to think for Raw. Raw's a little tougher to think, because Raw doesn't have many stipulation matches as SmackDown, but they have some. Yeah, I don't really know. So, yeah. But yeah, so that's unfortunate. Alright, we talked about most of the good, which is mostly just praising Roman Reigns. Let's get to the bad. First off, I want to start off with the thing that has always been a topic for years when people come up, the NXT call-ups. Jesus Christ. Now, this call-up class coming up, which has been very split open due to the pandemic, was looking very loaded and had massive star potential. You got guys like Matt Riddle, Keith Lee, Shayna Baszler, and you had stars like that coming up that were like, this is going to be a W. In any way possible. But what did they do? Oh, what did they do? They buried all of them. Oh, Lee. Oh, Riddle. Oh, Baszler. Let's start with the weaker one. Let's start with the guy that could fix it around, but I don't think it's gonna happen. We'll talk about Matt Riddle. Riddle came into SmackDown, hopped right into the IC title scene with AJ Styles. He beat AJ Styles on his first night. Huge upside, incredible win. Then he had a brilliant match with AJ again on SmackDown, but he got rolled up. A lot of people weren't happy. Then Riddle picked up a win after that. He had one more IC match, and then unfortunately he lost. But that was because Baron Corbin interfered. So Baron Corbin interfered, and that's going to be the first feud. When I heard there was a feud, so I was like, okay, you fucking dicks. Why are you putting him with King Corbin? I don't like even calling him King Corbin. I'll just call him Baron. So then they have the match at, I think it was a Backlash. It was an okay match, but at least Riddle won. And I'm like, okay, at least Riddle won. But then, of course, Corbin had to fucking attack him. Matt was like, the feud's going to continue. The feud didn't continue, because guess what they did? They moved him to Raw during the draft. What? Why? You put him on SmackDown for a reason. Why do you move him to Raw now? What, you guys are done with SmackDown with him? He barely did anything. He didn't even win a title. If he would have won a title, I'd be like, okay, I could see that. But he didn't even win a title. And now, what is this, Bro Donuts? Now he's trying to team up with Jeff Hardy? Hey, bro. Dude, Matt Riddle NXT was one of the coolest dudes on NXT. Dude was just a beast. He did flash knees. He had steel cage matches with Timothy Thatcher. He had just, oh my god, it got so bad so quick. I clicked the thing on accident, but I'm not doing any games, it's just the background. It's just, y'all had so much upside. Now, do I think Matt Riddle has a chance to turn it around? I want to say yes, but I feel like Vince doesn't want to. If you get my drift. Because to me, I think of Matt Riddle as this cool dude that's laid back, very chill, laid back. He knows what he's doing. He's a great fighter. And by the way, I see you, Smack. Hello, Smack. How are you today? I'm doing very well. I'm doing good. I'm doing very good. How are you? I'm doing very good. I'm just talking about my WWE experience because it has been a bad experience. Anyway. So now you got Riddle teaming up with Jeff. And it's like, why at this point? The only way to save Riddle is for him to win the United States title against Bobby Lashley. Right now, he's in a feud with Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship. If he can win the United States Championship and have a good run with it, I might be able to put him back in the not so buried. But right now, he's in a buried state. Because if he doesn't win the U.S. title and loses to Lashley, I don't know where Riddle goes from here. I'm gonna be honest. Oh, and why did you just call him Riddle? Just call him Matt Riddle, you savages. Anyway, next, let's go with Baszler. I want to save my favorite guy last. Shayna Baszler. Baszler, oh Baszler, oh Baszler. Where do I even start? Well, let's start from the beginning. Shayna Baszler came into NXT as a former UFC fighter, gonna be coming to NXT to train the Performance Center. She would be in the Mae Young Classic, and she's already done her wrestling around the world. She's won championships, and she was a really good fighter for a long time. She comes to NXT, she dominates. She goes on a massive run. She tapped out Ember Moon. She tapped out Kairi Sane. And even though Kairi Sane did beat her in the Mae Young Classic, she got her revenge. And she was looking like an ultimate badass on the main roster. Everyone was dreaming of Shayna Baszler and Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship. Everyone's like, oh, that's the match. That's the moneymaker. That's the moneymaker right there. Moneymaker right there. And then there was rumors that Ronda Rousey wanted to come through. And then we're like, oh, Ronda Rousey and Becky. Yeah, that's another money match. But what did they do? What did they do? They team her up with Battle Cow and make the tag team titles to them. And guess what? This week, it got even worse. She lost to one of the worst wrestlers on the brand. She lost to Lana. You're telling me she lost to a person that has no charisma. She has no fighting. She's the worst wrestler on the company. She lost to that? An Ultimate Bruising Fighter UFC god lost to that. Oh, WWE. Me and Ross were frustrated. I wanted to scream, but luckily I hold it in until now. Y'all had one simple job. And here's the worst part about the booking. The booking is not complex. WWE makes it complex. Here's the simple booking. Shayna Baszler. She starts off as a showcase talent. You give her lesser opponents. You build her up. See, key word, build. Build new stars. That's the key word. You build her up. You make her this beast. She starts going on the mic. She starts destroying people. And then you let her beat that ultimate contender, like a Charlotte or Asuka or someone like that. You beat her down. You let her beat her down, and you go from there. You go from there, and then you keep building her up, and then you give her the title. Because at WrestleMania, if she would have won the title at WrestleMania, it would have been amazing. But what happened? Oh no, let Becky Lynch roll her up. But I don't want to bash Becky too much because it was actually, during the match, she was actually fighting pregnant. By the way, props to her. I give her all the credit in the world. Nothing on her. It's not her fault. I understand why she won. I understand. But if she would have got pregnant before, you would have had a replacement and just have a singles match. But that's neither there. By the way, congrats to Becky for getting the children. I hope Becky comes back stronger than ever. I really like Becky Lynch. I hope she gets a better character and she has a better role. Yeah, so, but then Baszler has an opportunity. She could win Money in the Bank. While people are saying Baszler doesn't really need Money in the Bank, I think it was the more logical choice. Who did they give it to? Oh, they gave it to Asuka. Nothing against Asuka. I respect Asuka in all the world. I love her as a wrestler. I love her on NXT. But WWE Asuka's just so bad. When she came up, she was a fighting beast. She beat everyone. She was undefeated. She lost to Charlotte. She lost all her momentum after that. It's the Charlotte effects, ladies and gentlemen. The Charlotte effect. The Vince loves blonde chicks effect, I call it. Unbelievable. Anyway, point is, she could have won Money in the Bank, surprise everyone, win the title. What does she do? She gets eliminated halfway up. She didn't even get a chance to be in the final. And Otis won Money in the Bank that year. Good lord. Anyway, that's a different story. But that was, while the match, it's a 10 out of 10 cinematic quality. The winners were the L's for me. Just saying. Anywho, that was good, right? And then she finally wins a title, but this title is probably the worst on the brand. This is the absolute worst title on the brand. The women's SmackDown titles with Battle Count. Like, do I want to even continue to do this? Jesus Christ. Oh my God, bro. Alright. Back to the thing. Yeah, she's handled with Nia Jax, one of the worst wrestlers in WWE other than Asuka. She just can't wrestle. She's just big. I call it Battle Cow for a reason. I'm sorry. She's too big. I'm sorry. It's just so simple. Like, just take out the tag team women elimination, take out the women's tag titles, and move on. We don't need them. We already have 2 women's titles. Or just combine the brands, because fuck it. Because combine both divisions, because their divisions are so small. There's your fix. And yeah. Yeah, we got it. Next, what's next? So, Smack, I respect you in every way. You might not like me anymore. But, guess what? Guess what? We gotta talk about your boy Keith Lee. Oh, Keith Lee, my brother, I'm sorry. You had so much potential. You still do. But it's squandered. Here we go. Keith Lee, one of my favorite NXT themes and people other than Karrion Kross at the time, had an amazing run this year. This year for Keith Lee was one of the best years of Keith Lee's career. He got shooted up to the main event spot. He fought Adam Cole at Great American Bash. He had an amazing match with Kross. He had everything. He had the feud. He was putting NXT on his shoulders. He was. He had matches with Finn Balor. He had matches with Johnny Gargano. Even though the first one was underwhelming. The second one was better. Still great matches. Keith Lee had it all. He had World Champion written on there. He went 20 plus minutes with the guy of the company at that point, Roman Reigns. Yeah, he went 20 fucking minutes with Roman Reigns. 20! I'm like, oh, this is the guy. This is your next world champion. This is the guy you're going to build around. This is where the guy, he has so much upside. He's athletically gifted. He's big. He's fast. He's smooth. He doesn't look like he'll botch much. He looks like a beast. So we'll start off with the kind of good. They started off strong. But bad move number one. I didn't even get him debuting yet. They changed his theme music. Dude, you don't change an epic theme music. You don't do that. When Bobby Roode came to NXT, his theme music was one of my favorite parts of his gimmick. He was the douchey, glorious bastard that was so cool to watch. He comes to the main roster, they keep his music, but they make him a jobber. Same with Shinsuke. And I was scared Keith Lee was going to go through the same process, and unfortunately, oh, they did this boy bad. They made him wear a shirt. They kept the pants. And they made him, like, move slower. Like, he wasn't as quick as he once was. Like, he punches a lot slower. His pounce is not as powerful. Like, they limited him a lot. Like, he looks bad on Raw. He looks just so slow. But when I saw him at NXT, he was quick. He was fast. He was agile. He was smooth. But on Raw, they limited him a lot. Like, a lot. And I was disappointed. Now, obviously they started off good with the opponent. The opponent they started off with was Randy. Randy, they started off so strong. Randy Orton, that's a good opponent to start. You beat a world champion like him, you got a lot of upside. What does he do? He beats Randy Orton. I'm like, oh, okay, this is potential. Who do you give him next? Braun Strowman. Oh my fucking Jesus. Alright, but we're like, alright. As long as he wins the feud, cool. What happens? He doesn't win the feud. He loses to Braun Strowman via low blow, running power slam, boom. Like, bro, I swear. Not only did you change his music, twice. You changed his music. You fuck with his attire. Made him look like an absolute joke. His promo skills was obviously amazing still. And he's not as good in the ring as he was on NXT. But that's not him getting aged. He was the exact same age. But, like, bro. I don't get it. I don't. And I have a scary feeling they're just going to call him Keith now. They took out Riddle. What do they call him? Lee? Lee who? Keith Lee, I was happy you signed with NXT. You're one of the most impressive athletes I've ever watched. I never got a chance to watch you live, but I wanted to. You were one of the most impressive specimens of athletes, other than Brock Lesnar, I've ever seen. You're big, you're athletic, you're gifted, you know what you're doing. But WWE's not gonna let you do what you want. And I'm sorry. I hope things turn around for you. I hope you win a title. I hope you get a world title opportunity. Please. I need you to get a world title shot. If you don't, this whole Keith Lee experiment failed. I'm sorry. That was the toughest one to do. So there's part number 1. New stars that came up, buried already. It's unfortunate, really. It's one of my favorite classes coming up. But when you go to the WWE system, it doesn't work. They don't let you have the same charm as you did in NXT. It's sad, really. Really sad. Next. Coming up. What's next? What's next? Championships. When I think of championships, I think of one-on-one match or 2-on-2 at a pay-per-view. When I think of championships, I think of holding a long reign. When I think of championships, I think of prestige. That's what I think of. What does WWE have these days? Well, they finally made the Universal title, the blue one, prestigious. Roman's making that title look like a beast. Okay, respect. They're making the WWE title still a little prestigious. Okay, sure. They're making Sami Zayn look prestigious with the IC title. Okay. They changed the US title. Not as bad as the other one, but still one of the weaker titles. Oh, what about tag teams? WWE's like, shh. There's no tag division. There's no tag division. It doesn't exist. The tag division. I've seen amazing tag wrestling in other promotions. I've seen great tag matches at NXT. I've seen brilliant tag wrestling in WWE. Look, remember Usos New Day? That was great. What do we have now? Street Profits? You know, that has potential. But they're annoying. New Day, they've already done their past. And Big E's on his own now. They broke him up. What else do you want? What else do you want? There's no tag teams. They broke up Heavy Machinery. That was a tag team. Gone. Who else? Who else is out there? I don't know. Forgotten Sons? He's with Baron Corbin. They're not winning tag titles. Who else? Bobby Roode and Ziggler? Ew! What else? I can't think! There's no teams! They just made up teams. Like, there was a team, it was like Ricochet and Cedric. That's not a team! That's just 22 people together making a team. That's not how that works. Okay, maybe Hurt Business. Alright, Hurt Business is actually a legit team. But that's about it. So I said 3, maybe 4 teams. Hurt Business, New Day, Street Profits, maybe Forgotten Sons. I think that's it. That's about it. 4 teams. That's the saddest tag division I've ever seen. And you know what? Since it's so dead, I'm just gonna dead the conversation. So that, 2 points down, 1 to go. And I'm not being mean here. My final point is CM Punk was right. What do I mean by that? This company would run a lot better when your dad is dead. I'm sorry not to be mean to old man Vince, but he's lost his mind. He needs to get out of there as quick as possible. You need to put Shane and Triple H at the helm. Triple H at the top, Shane at the bottom, with Stephanie doing the women. Because I don't really know if there's any hope for WWE. I used to say NXT used to be my take thing away from WWE. I can't even really say that anymore. TakeOver's not the same anymore. Without fans. It's not the same. When we give fans back, maybe it'll change. Maybe. But other than that, the main roster's not going to change. The only thing that's going to be positive is SmackDown. Because Roman is the only positive. You know? That's it. There's no one else. Another rumor Goldberg to come back? That's even more gross. Keep Goldberg away from Roman at all costs. Like, I don't know who else. I really don't at this point. WWE, I've given you so many shots to try to rebrand yourself, to rebuild yourself. But you're going down the gutter. You're going down the gutter. The only good thing, other than in NXT right now, is the men's, because Karrion Kross is back, Finn Balor's healthy, Damian Priest is healthy, Pete Dunne wants a shot, they have even Kyle O'Reilly wants a shot. And the women's division. The women's division is awesome in NXT. Io Shirai, Toni Storm, Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez, Rhea Ripley. But Rhea Ripley might be coming up, and now I'm scared for her if she comes up to the main roster. Because they did Baszler dirty. I don't know. I don't know at this point, WWE. I don't know. Really, all I can tell you is good luck. Because I'm saying it now, I'm no longer watching WWE every week. Unless SmackDown has a good show, I'll watch. But Raw can fuck off. Raw can fuck off. Raw is the worst show in WWE. But SmackDown's barely even better. If I were to give you a grade or a ranking system, if I were ranking these shows, NXT would be a B minus. It used to be an A+, but it's a B minus. They need to work on some stuff. SmackDown, I can't give it an A. People that give it an A are high. I'll give it a C. Oh, I kind of want to be generous and give it a B, but I kind of want to give it a C. I'm gonna give it a C+. You're not quite at B. You need another feud in there other than Roman, and not because I actually don't really like Carmella. She's pretty and all, but in ring wise, I hate Carmella. So I don't really care for Carmella. Be honest. I don't know who's next to Sasha after Carmella, by the way. I'm done at this point. But yeah, anyway. And send that. So yeah, C+. And for Raw, oh Raw. Oh Raw. I want to give Raw F so bad, but I want to be a little more generous. I'll give it a D-. Yeah. A D-. The only reason you get a slight pass is because Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, they're still entertaining as hell. And The Fiend's entertaining to watch too. But that's about it. So literally, the only thing I could say now is WWE, good luck. Until Vince is out of the chairman spot, I'm not watching. I'm not watching full time. I'm probably going to watch the pay-per-views, but that's only because I got friends. If I didn't have friends, I wouldn't be watching your shit company. But I kind of do want to see Roman Kevin. Gonna be honest. But other than that, that is it for my WWE experience. The only positives I can give away is they did a really nice send-off for Undertaker, even though they should have been done that. They did a really good interview for Undertaker in other shows like Feetsy Feed, aka Hot Ones. They did an ESPN interview. The way they sent off Undertaker after the Boneyard match was the exact way to do Undertaker. No more matches, just go into the sunlight. That was great. But other than that, Survivor Series was an absolute joke this year. Really, the only positive match was Drew and Roman. That was great. But other than that, I didn't care. I didn't care. I didn't care about the teams. I didn't care. I didn't care. And I'm hoping TLC could change that. The only positive pay-per-view from me for WWE this year was Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, Night of Champions, and that's it. Everything else, garbage. Garbage. I tried. I really did. But I'm done. Anyway, that is going to do it. Luckily, NBA is on tonight for preseason. Thank God. I have something to do tonight other than watch Raw, SmackDown. I might do a live reaction. I don't really know. Probably not. Probably just enjoy NBA. But yeah. Thank you guys for joining me. I'll try to post more on here as much as I can. I got back with Rob and the gang, so I might post back, running back with them, but right now, kind of focusing on college, focusing on stuff like that. So I'll keep y'all posted. You guys can follow me on my Insta and my Twitter. My Twitter's John Moxley Fan. You can follow me there, and you can check my Twitter. I always post about AEW, stuff like that. Have fun. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed my rant. I'll see y'all later.